Hey everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I'm here at Hershey Gardens in Pennsylvania, Hershey, Pennsylvania to be exact, at a beautiful botanical garden. It's 23 acres, it has 11 garden rooms, and I have been here in the past, but it's been at least 10 years since I've been here. I remember my daughter was just starting to walk when we visited, so it'll be really fun to take a look around and see how things have changed. So how I got these tickets was that a neighbor popped over just yesterday with a bunch of free tickets to Hershey Gardens. Can you believe it? How wonderful. Gardeners are just awesome like that, right? For her to think of me. So I wanted to bring you guys along in case you've never seen this particular garden. I've seen on their website that they are struggling a little bit. So let's just keep an open mind and an open heart as we look around, and I'm sure we'll see something beautiful together. Well guys, I just talked to one of the horticulturalists here, and he told me that this year is very different from other years because they weren't able to buy the massive quantities of tulip bulbs that they normally would because of how many months they had to be shut down for last season. So he was even a little bit apologetic and sad, but I still think there is a lot of beauty to see here. So this is the area that the horticulturalist was telling me about. This is their seasonal display garden. He said normally it's 28,000 tulips, and you can see not really many, if any, tulips at all. So, you know, it's kind of a sad thing to see, but I think there's hope on the horizon for next year. So we can look forward to that. There are some tulips here. So they said these tulips are from the previous year. I guess that would have been 2019. And they were just kind of crossing their fingers and see what would come up. So there's still some nice things to see. This garden is called the Milton Hershey Tribute Garden. It was established in 2012 to celebrate the 75th anniversary of the Hershey Gardens. And I really love a saying here on this stone. It says, I'm not sure if I can hold the camera right, you guys, but it says, "The more beautiful you can make the place look, the better life the people will have." This is really starting to bring back some memories. I think I might have a picture of myself and my mom, maybe even my brother, under this weeping birch tree. And if I remember correctly, the trunk of this is really interesting. You can see everyone wanted to leave their mark here. Takes me back, that's for sure. This area is called the Perennial Garden. I'm seeing a lot of beautiful rhododendrons, azaleas, daffodils, and there's actually somebody in here working this area when I first arrived. But I want to show you something really interesting over here in the corner. Check out these bleeding hearts with lime-colored foliage. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Does anyone know what variety this is? I can't find a tag for them. I see they have the white bleeding heart and just a standard pink. But that lime is really something, especially in a shade garden, to have that nice lime and a perennial. I'm hoping someone knows the name of that variety. You can tell that this area is going to be beautiful in another month. Just absolutely stuffed full of peonies. And their peonies are so much farther ahead than mine. It's so interesting. Mine are just starting to pop up out of the ground. You know, they're still looking red, but these ones are already budded up. I like it. I like the purple, and maybe these are white, I wonder. This area here is called the Oak Garden, and I see some really beautiful hellebores. You know, I want to tell you about this awesome book that talks a lot about the importance of oaks, especially if you live in an area close to me. It's a book, two books by Doug Tallamy. The first one's called Bringing Nature Home, and the other one I think is Nature's Best Hope. But he always talks about the oak being such an important tree because it's a host plant for so many caterpillars and just the whole ecosystem overall. His books are really inexpensive. I think maybe $15 to $18. Totally worth the money. You'll learn so much from him. He's just a genius. Let's look at some hellebores though. They're really, really beautiful. So I'm here at the Japanese garden right now, and I think this is my favorite area I've seen so far. There's some beautiful Japanese maples over here, some lovely dawn redbud trees, and just a lot of beautiful ground covers and perennials, and a stream as well. This Japanese maple is just awesome, isn't it? Look at the structure on that. This is kind of interesting. I don't remember this from other years. It says, this garden is called River Banker's Picnic based on the popular children's book, The Wind in the Willows. It brings this special, much-loved book to life. Oh, lots of beautiful bluebells in here. So I've never heard of the book Wind in the Willows, so I'll have to get that out from the library. I'm not sure my almost teenage, well, she is a teenager now, daughter will appreciate it, but it will be nice to see what this garden is talking about. So I have to take a pause here at this mature Korean spice viburnum. It's probably not at full maturity. It doesn't say what the variety is because they can get quite large, but this shrub smells absolutely amazing. It blooms in early spring and it holds pretty well in the vase. So Maybe one to think about for your garden. Definitely one I want to add to mine. This garden over here is just a tiny garden, but it's called the Fragrance Garden, so everything in here smells great. So it looks like they have a lilac there, hyacinths, and then, very appropriate, they have this sweet little girl smelling a rose. I imagine that's how many of us were when we were little girls. This garden is called Over the Garden Wall, and it says that this area is planted with native Pennsylvania plants and offers a peaceful retreat for the tired gardener. I quite like that. So guys, I feel like this is an area that's usually filled up with tulips, and I think I might have a picture from maybe 15 years ago of me standing here when things were really in full bloom. So I'll lay that picture over if I can find it. I really love this archway here. This looks to me to be planted with chocolate vine. Well, that makes sense, right? Since we are at the Hershey Gardens. But this is really magical. I would like to create something like this in my garden. I probably couldn't create it as such a large structure, but maybe just one arch with maybe some cup and saucer vine. I started cup and saucer vine and I have no idea what I'm gonna train it to grow up. We're in the Arboretum now, and these are the Four Seasons statues, and I can vividly remember as a young girl being very afraid of these for some reason. I'm not really sure why. But this is a nice small arboretum back here. Let me pan you around. You know, some beautiful horse chestnut, some willow, lots of evergreen. So this area behind me is the historic Hershey Rose Garden. It was started in 1937, and this was really the beginning of Hershey Gardens. It has 3,400 roses in it with 175 varieties. Now, of course, the roses aren't in flower right now, but I remember that I came here as a young girl with my parents, and I might just have a picture of these roses in bloom. So I'll try to look for that and overlay the image. But it is a beautiful garden. If you are passionate about roses, I would say that's probably the #1 reason to come to this particular garden. All right, guys, well, I think that brings us to the end of the tour. I still have a lot of time left in this day, so I think I'm gonna head up to the Hotel Hershey and get like a mocha frappuccino or a hot cocoa, because I mean, I am in Hershey, Pennsylvania after all. But I hope it was enjoyable to see these gardens. I don't necessarily feel that this is really an accurate depiction of how I've seen the gardens in the past. It's kind of just a weird time of year, and you know, they even said it right on their website that they were struggling a little bit over the past year. So I definitely want to send warm wishes to everyone who works here. This is a nonprofit garden, and I think it really is worth visiting, especially if you are a rose lover. Come probably in early June, you know, give them a call just to make sure. But when those roses are in peak, it is really a sight to behold. Well, guys, let's go to the Hotel Hershey together. Why not? I have some battery left. I also wanted to tell you that I'm going to take us to some really awesome gardens this year, places that I had never discovered until recently. You know, after my grandmother passed away, I kind of made it my mission, and that was back in 2009. I made it my mission to visit as many botanical gardens as I could drive to in a day, and there have been some really spectacular ones, and also ones that I just can't find on a list. They're kind of estate gardens, and someone has told me about them, so I want to take us to all those places. So let's now go get that hot cocoa, and maybe we can see a few more beautiful things on the way out. Well guys, I'm here at the Hotel Hershey and I got my mocha latte. That seemed appropriate being here in Hershey. But I just want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I think I have some time to get work done in the garden before I have to pick my daughter up from school. I have 4 boxes full of lilies, gladiolas, peony roots, and bare root perennials that I need to get in the ground ASAP. So no matter what you're getting around to today out there in the garden, I want to wish you a great one. Bye!